chunky little fish. Oh, it's a fantastic carp. That is a bite straight away. Look at that. Woo. Right then guys, welcome to another episode of Hooked. My name's John Murray and I'm an angling addict, and today I've come down to Langwith Lakes. I'm actually on Kevin's Lake today. Never fished it before and I'm told it's fishing quite hard. £17 won the match yesterday. Could even be harder today. It was -2 this morning, so a real hard frost, and yeah, I'm not sure whether these fish are going to feed at all. I've been told that a maggot line just beyond the middle in the deepest water is probably the best way to go, but I have seen some fish topping on the far bank and certainly right down at my feet. I disturbed a fish earlier on, so I'm going to feed a few micros right down at my feet. It's only in a foot of water. I'm going to use the pole at 11 metres, just using a little sprinkle pot, and I'm going to feed maggot on that line. I think because I have seen the odd fish top not too far out, I'm going to fish a 5 metre line somewhere around there for a shallow rig, and I'll feed that by hand with caster. And then I've just got a tiny little ICM cage feeder, and I'm basically going to use some Sonybait screen and micro pellets, which I was using down at Elvington Lakes yesterday. On the bait tray I've got a real variety of baits. I've got some 4mm hard pellets, some green micro pellets, a pint of casters, which I never really used yesterday, the best part of a pint of red and white maggots, as I said, the Sonybait Super Crush green, and some micro pellet, sweet corn, and I'm just soaking up a few expanders, and I'll add a bit of sweet F1 pellet to them. Change baits for the method line, I've got a variety of wafters and pellets to go at. Remember guys, if you enjoy the videos, give me a thumbs up. If you're new around here, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode every time I upload one. Right, without further ado, let's get some fishing done. Okay, so I'm just going to be fishing the little ICM cage feeder today, popping ground bait and micro pellet in that, and I've just got that down to a size 18 barbless carp hook. That allows me to switch out baits, so I can try a wafter and bandit. I can put a maggot on, caster. You know, basically, if it's going to be hard, then I want options. So I've no idea how to fish this lake, but I'm going to start with a maggot, put a little bit of ground bait and micro pellet in there. So you probably can't see it on camera today due to the angles, but I'm actually just fishing off to the corner of the island. You may get it on the body camera, and I'm just going to fish this off the bump bar. It's not ideal, but because I predominantly think I'll be fishing pole, I don't really want to set the feeder arm up, so I may just drop this bump bar down a bit so I can get the tip closer to the water. It's a little bit weedy over there, so I might have to come in a little bit. I'm just going to have half a dozen slings on this. If you can hear those noises, that's the peacocks around the site. So I'm probably throwing about 1.5 foot short of the island at the moment. Oh, and that is a bite straight away. Look at that. So, woo, that fish was straight on. Incredible. So on the maggot, I was told it wasn't fishing over there. A lot of people had fished pole and really struggled, which is why I was told to go down the middle on maggot, but it's always worth just having a look on the method to start with. This could just be a Brucey bonus. We might not get another one, but that barely touched down. So the little ICM doing beautifully there. shaking its head a bit, it's angry. Haven't gone too heavy, just 0.13 bottom on this. Just easing the clutch off a little bit because it's having a go, this fish. Swimming all over, so whether he's foul hooked, the rod is bent double. Certainly doesn't want to come in. I'm not going to rush him though. Trying to get under my own bank and all sorts. Could be foul up this fish where it's going. Doesn't look that big. I don't want to show him the net because he'll probably bolt. I'm having problems getting him up. Definitely does not want to come in. Wow. I don't know if you can see that rod on camera, but that is absolutely smashed over. And he's in the lip. Oh, there's a nice little mirror. We've got him. Wow, a proper battler. Okay, so that's why he's angry. He didn't actually just think we'd... Well, I'm not entirely sure. We may have just foul hooked him in the side of the face. He was maybe just sat there and didn't quite realise. It's probably where we struggled to get him in. Maybe just landed that on his head. But if I could ever get hold of him... There we go. Not the biggest of fish, but that's a great start. Let's get him back. That's another indication straight away, so whether that was a liner or a fish, we'll see. I'm just going to pop a few micros in the edge down here. Not a huge amount. I'll just prime it up for a bit later on. A couple of grains of corn. Start feeding a caster line just off to the left. It's gone round, so it won a fluke. I think that's fourth cast. We've got another fish on. I think this one might be properly up to this time as well. Jagging around. Feels a bit different to the last fight. Tiny little F1. Properly hooked in the lip though. Looks like he's been attacked by a cormorant or something. Definitely something had a chunk out of him there. So far, The little cage feeder with maggot working nicely. Always got the option to pop a pellet on this, or a piece of corn. Very windy, getting a great big bow in the line, even on the short chuck that we're having. And just keep some casters going in on this short line. Start building that, maybe give it a couple of hours and have a look on it. If I can get away without fishing the long pole today in this wind, then that'll be ideal. The method may not continue to produce. Okay, nothing on that go out, so just have one more sling on this now, and then we'll start thinking about fishing the long pole. That's something having a nose on the tip there. May have just been a slight liner. That's gone round. Oh, that was another bite. I think we'll have one more chuck. Missed that one. Thought it was on, it properly whacked round. Okay, so no further bites on the method, so I think what we'll do is we'll come off that. We'll have a look on the long line. So the rig I've opted for on the maggot line today is a 0.5 gram Drennan carp 5 float. It's shotted just in the sort of lower third of the rig with stots. And as usual, I've got a 4.5 inch hook length. And at the moment I'm fishing that down to a size 20 wide gate pellet hook. So I'm going to start on maggot and feed using the sprinkle pot. Keep this bait tight. Maggots are a nightmare flying around in the wind. Hopefully I can hang on to this pole today, but it is battering that wind. Oh my word. I'm not sure we're going to be able to fish this. Certainly the rig's probably going to need a back shot on. Oh, that was a fish top in mid-wash, but right, I'm going to bring that back. So I've got a fairly long lash on this rig, a couple of foot. I've back shotted it now with a number 8 and it's sitting lovely and stable despite this strong side wind that I'm faced with. I've plumbed up just to the bottom of the body of the pole float, so I've probably got just an inch sat on the deck. It's just giving me some anchorage in this wind at this moment in time. And that's a bite, and that's a fish on. So we were just dripping those maggots in. That's a decent fish as well. There's a few fish starting to move around the lake. Seen a few fish splash off to my left, one over on the island to my right. So I think maybe this sunshine's switching them on a little bit. Despite the -2 temperatures overnight. Just going steady with this fish. Not a huge carp. Definitely got some battle in here. Oh, nice little fish. Yes, he's ours. Nice little mirror. So we'll go out long again. See if we can really get this line producing a few fish, letting the bait trickle in out of the sprinkle pot. It's gone already. Went on the way down that. Good grief. It could be queuing up down there. That's another indication. Just a slow burn bite, that. There's definitely a few fish sat down there though. Got quite a bit of float tip visible, or bristle visible, purely because of the wind and how much it's blowing at the moment. So I've maybe got about 15 mil, 20 mil showing. I can always trim that off again with a number 11. But there is quite a chop on. Okay, I'm just going to lay this rig back in. Just fighting with the wind, I'm just getting pushed down to my left hand side a bit. Oh, now I'm going to have to let that go. Lay back in again. Some of these gusts are hard work. Magnificent. Oh, that was a bite there. Again, didn't quite take it fully. I was a little bit late on the strike. I may just add a tiny number 11 stot onto this. Try and trim this float off a bit. Right, I'm just going to make an adjustment on this rig. Put a tiny number 11 or 12 stot on this. We'll see how that rides in the water, and if I need to, I'll just put a bit of bristle grease on the tip just to stand it proud. Okay, so that seems to be riding with about 10 mil showing now. So I think we'll be okay. Probably don't need any bristle grease. That's just enough tip to maintain decent visibility in this chop. Hopefully it'll just increase the sensitivity of the rig, get us more positive bites. That's gone, and there we go. That little adjustment making the difference. Probably just an F1 this. Doesn't feel a big fish. I'll keep him out of my margin swim if I can. So such delicate little biters, and when they're that size they're even more delicate. Oh, it's gone. Just hanging onto the pole there as that great big gust of wind came along. Managed to strike the fish. Not the biggest of fish, but cute nonetheless. So there's definitely some sport to be had. Found that the maggot works on the deep line. We've had a few fish on the little cage method feeder, inline cage feeder. We're just focusing on building this line up with the sprinkle pot whilst feeding the caster line off to my left. Whether that'll produce or not, I don't know, but just trying a few things. Right, let's just try a little expander, just to change over that maggot line. I may tap some micros in on it. Back on the maggot. There we go, that was a decent bite. Not a bad fish this either. Small F1, but it's come off. Well, hey-ho. We're getting a few bites, but they're biting delicate. Right, I'm just going to persevere with the pull for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to have a look on the method feeder, see if anything's started to feed on that line. Because there's quite a few fish showing. Just had a little walk around the lake, and certainly down in the far corner there's a few fish basking, so they're soaking up the sun for sure. I hope that this shallow line will start to produce. I've not seen anything come over the top of it yet, but I am just continuing to feed caster in down there pretty heavily, so it'll be worth a look shortly, I think. They're certainly not queuing up out there, but there's a few bites to be had. They all seem to be this kind of like stocky size though. Just keep them way out of my margin. So another tiny little stocky. How do we get some better quality out? I think we'll rest that. Have a look on the method. Keep saying the method, but it's an inline cage feeder, but you know what I mean. So same deal, we'll just go out with a maggot. So we're up to them reeds. I think we'll just try a piece of corn. That's gone round. Yeah, we got the perfect position on the method there. That was quite immediate. Decent scrap off these little fish. I think that's actually a small common. It's got barbules, so don't think that's a true F1. Yeah, that's nice position that. That's ripped round again. Bit of a weight. When it goes, it goes. Yeah, another tiny stockfish, but good fun. Right, so I'm just going to have a look on the slapping rig, or shallow rig. So it's just a 4x12 shallow. We've got 3 number 8 stots just below the float, a number 8 stot about 6 inches down the line, and another number 8 stot just above the 4-inch hook length, so about 5 inches down to the hook. See if anything's waiting. So there don't seem to be a response on the shallow rig. That's a bit disappointing, but not entirely unexpected. So I think we'll just abandon that for the time being. It may not be worth continuing to feed it. I think I'm just going to have a look on my margin line, see if anything's coming close. So I'm just going to drop on. Single maggot. There's nothing down there. It is hard work fishing the pole in this wind, but I think it's probably the best line today. The method keeps throwing the odd fish up, so it's worth dropping back on it. Another tiny stockfish. Oh, that's a bite. We're in. This is working. Oh, it's a bream. Oh, something different. Not a bad slab, that. Well, nice skimmer. Entirely unexpected. Not a bad fish. Another one with a puncture wound in its side. Could be another bream, this. Feels a decent fish. Maybe a bit too powerful for a bream. Oh no! Just coming up and the hook's pulled. It was a bream. Slime on the line. Thought it was a bream. Decent fish, so it looks like we've got a few bream in the swim now. Shall I cup some ground bait in? I quite fancy it, you know. I think I'll get the cupping kit out, put a bit over it. Right, I'm going to give this swim a good helping of feed. It's a 150ml pot. It's got a good handful of casters in there, quite a few maggots, and a good helping of micro pellet. I just hope I can get it in without the wind grabbing the pole. I'll just spread it roughly over this little area. That's it. Just putting it over a couple of metre line. So I've kept the ground bait out for now. I'll keep the sprinkle pot trickling through. But now we've got options to go on caster, so I'm going to try it. Okay. Then we'll just let that settle for a bit. The wind is just getting absolutely crazy. Come back to that shortly. We'll go on the method for a bit. Right guys, the wind's just got up worse. I just can't continue to fish the pole. It's just ploughing me down to the left hand side here. So I'm just going to stick out on the tip for a little bit longer. Hopefully this will die down in an hour or two, but I've no idea what the forecast is. So I know there's fish sat out on that line where we've put all that castor and maggot and micro pellet, but I just can't hold still over it at this moment in time. So as I say, I'm going on the tip. Fingers crossed it'll calm down. Trying to hit the mark in this wind with a light feeder is hard work, but that was bang on the money for where I want it. It's where most of the bites have come. Carp cruising in the margin. Looked a good common. That's gone round. Might just be worth having a nosy on the inside now. That was a proper bite on the tip there. I'm going to avoid disturbing the inside. Oh yeah, he's down there. He's over that bait that I put down earlier. I've set another line up to my right hand side. I think I may try a piece of corn on the margin rig. It's a shame we can't get on that long pole line right now, but you never know, we might get an hour on it yet. This is a decent spot on the little feeder. Nice chunky little fish. He's in immaculate condition. They're so difficult to get hold of. They're just so lively, but they don't half battle for the size. Okay, I'm just going to have a little look on this margin rig. See if we can hook up. Just pop a tiny grain of corn on. He's coming in. He's coming in. He's on the feed. He's heading straight for this. Don't know if I get my handy cam. Looks a good fish, this. May be able to pick him out. I'm going to try and film him. So he's just off to the right hand side of that cutout. Just where it's jutting out on the left of the screen. Just showed his back then. He's probably about 1.5 feet away from my bait. So it should be in about the centre of your screen right now. Top centre. Just moving in. He's moving in. There. Clearly visible now, his tail. Could be a ghosty, this. Got 13 Jura slip in this edge kit. If we hook into this fish, all hell's going to break loose. I'm just going to let him work his way around this swim. Don't know where he's gone now. I'm just going to leave the rig in position. It's coming back around. It's coming right in close, really close. There he is. There he is. He's heading for it. He swum straight past. Banging the float. He's turning round. Just goes to show how close fish can be and not give you any indication. He's moved off to the left again. He's coming back around. He's definitely grazing on everything down there. He's a decent fish. I may just lift the rig and lower out a little bit further out. Not much. I know he's down there. He's back again. Just put a few soft expanders down there. He's probably found them already. Will he take my corn? I literally can't believe he's on top of this. Oh, he's spooked off. Just going to pop a soft pellet on. He's right at my feet now. Grazing right below the platform. That's ridiculous. So I'm just going to lower this in. It's insane how close he is. He's right underneath me. Come on, turn around. Turn around. He's heading for it. He's heading for it. Come on. He swum straight past the line. You can feel it. We don't like it. There's another one down to the right hand side where I fed. Could be the same fish. It's certainly in the margins now. He's down here, is this fish. I'm going to drop some caster down for him. Pop some down here. Yeah, there's more fish down there. So they are here. Moving in, he's right on the bait. Just not feeding, he's turned around. Kick my float out of the way. It's coming back. Infuriating. Please. Oh well, there's fish jumping out of the water over to our left on the old caster line now. Jesus! Right guys, bit of a nightmare there as we're trying to catch the carp. The camera blew over. This wind is so bad. I've literally got sections everywhere It's taking out everything right now. Just wish it had calmed down. I've fished in some challenging conditions this year, but I absolutely hate wind, and it just makes it even more the worse. I mean, my camera's actually covered in mud now, but anyway, we saved it from going in the drink just. But yeah, wow, it's wild winds. So that's probably ruined any chance we had on the margin swim. We'll probably have to wait a good 10 minutes now for that to settle back down. So I think I'll just come off that for the time being, go back on the method. Carp's back on the inside. Fish on. Hooked one on the method. Oh, another great big carp down the inside. Coming in now. I've got caster down there, I've got pellet down there, corn down there, micro pellet. Try and net him out there. Yeah, we've got him. Another lovely little stockfish. That seems to be what you catch over there by the island. These big boys are coming down the inside. So, since they're back again, I'm going to try again for one. They are literally queuing up down this margin. But they're crafty. Big fish, big fish. He's teeming with them down there. Flick a few more casters. Bait's masked. They are literally queuing up down here. It's spooked straight off that. Right guys, I've just quickly set up a new rig. I've put one of these Drennan crystal margin floats on because the carp are spooking off the island float. Whether it'll make any difference, I don't know. But we're going to give it a go. There are literally loads of them in the swim right now. All got their backs out of the water. They're right next to the float. Got a soft pellet on. I think the crystal float, they're not spooking off that. So they do make a difference. If we hook one now, we'll definitely know. That just about went then. This could be it. This could be it. Ah, I spooked. Can't believe it. I don't know what you need to do to catch these fish. They're scared of line. It's infuriating. They literally brush up against the line and then spook off it. Keep coming back around. Just move all the shots up under the float. I don't know what else I can do. Double caster on the hook now. Oh, so close. Well, I think we'll just end up foul looking one of these. That's it, we're in. We are in. Finally. This doesn't feel like a crazy fish actually. Maybe just hasn't woke up yet, because they were big fish. Oh, it's a good fish. Yeah, it's a good carp. He's not fighting too hard. Oh, oops. It's a ghosty. We've got him. That's probably destroyed the swim, but beauty. Get in. Tricked one. They are lovely fish. I'm not sure he was the biggest of the bunch, but he's the best fish of the day. He's very lively, as you'd expect, just grabbing him out of the margin like that. Probably not going to get too many more opportunities to get another one out today. No, they don't want to behave, as they never do. Camera shy. There we go, guys. Right, guys, I'm literally just trying to get one last fish out now. I've had to abandon the long line, which is a bit of a shame really, but the wind is just absolutely horrendous. There's no way I could hold the pole. If I'd been able to get over that feed that I'd put in, I think, you know, we could have had a really good day. But it's the first time I've fished this lake. You know, basically I never knew how to approach it, but feeding the maggot down the middle at this time of year, particularly when it's been -2 overnight, you know, has worked well. And I think they were going to have some feed today because it's been quite mild. It's just a shame about the wind. The method feeder worked clearly, but the fish seemed to be a smaller stamp over by the island, so out in the middle we were starting to get the bream coming on. I think if we'd got some settled on that micro pellet and caster, you know, we could have really done quite a good weight on it, to be honest. But we've still got a few carp coming down the edge, and there's some good fish in here. I got one of the smaller ones out, but I'm just going to try and get one more and then we'll call it a day. So remember, guys, if you did enjoy the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode every time I upload one. Right, let's see if we can get one more fish. There we go, fish on. It's steaming off. I've only got the top kit. Oh, it's a good fish. We're just going to have to hang on. Stopped him. It's coming back. Just sunk the top kit under the water and put a bit more resistance on him. There's a lot of fish sitting in this edge. It's probably the best time of day now. I'm just going to let this elastic do the work. Hopefully it won't come off. Hopefully he's not foul hooked. I'm not even going to try and recover the elastic right now. It's coming back, it's coming back. Right. Now we'll take a bit of elastic. He's going to have another run. I think we've got it under control. This 13 Jura slip's lovely. And just let him have a run. He's nearly ours. Go in again. Doesn't want to give up. Oh, it's a fantastic carp. Told you there was some big fish down there. Oh, he's going. He's scared. I'll just give him a bit of elastic. He's right down the inside now. It's a lovely big mirror. It's going again. Hopefully we've got a good hook hold. Seems fairly decent. Trying everything. A lot of pressure on him now. And that's what happens when you put the pressure on. Good fish. Good fish. Well, he's done me, guys. The hook length's gone. It was 0.15 bottom, that. Probably not strong enough for these margin creatures. So in future, we'll gear up a bit. I didn't think they'd be quite that big, but that was probably a good 8 or 9 pound fish. It's a shame I ain't got him out, but I'm going to call it a day anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. Until the next one, tight lines.